Hey guys, I'm AJ from Makeout, and this is the Punkio Podcast.
Please mind the gap between the train and the...
Whatever. Welcome to the Punkio Podcast, the show that brings you unsigned punk music, regular interviews, news, reviews, and more. Thanks for tuning in and subscribing. Here are your hosts, Tim Marshall and Tom Hawkins.
Hey guys, welcome to the Punkio Podcast. I'm Tim.
And I'm Tom.
And today we have AJ from Makeout. How you doing, buddy? You alright?
Good, man. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're all good.
It's a bit dark here, but we're all fine. We're all dandy.
Yes, it's very dark here now. Yeah, literally pitch
And I got the natural light coming in, so that's time difference for you guys, you know?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it can get quite difficult. I want to do some interviews with Australian bands, but it might be a bit hard.
We meet them in the middle. They wake up at 10 o'clock at night. We wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're all knackered.
Yeah.
There you go.
There
has to be an overlap when like normal people are awake for both of you guys. Like there has to be at some point. Maybe it's like 10 o'clock at night and like 8 a.m. in the morning. I don't know what the time difference is for y'all, but I know how confusing it is just dealing with Scott being in Brisbane.
I bet.
So, like, you know, like just to figure out like, hey, when can we get on a phone call?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think you're 8 hours behind, I think. So what's the time there now? Is it 8 hours? Yeah,
it's 8 hours. It's like one something over here.
Yeah.
So
blimey.
And yes, you've still got the whole day ahead of you. I finished my day. It was really exciting.
Yeah.
It wasn't an exciting day. I'm sorry, man.
I mean, you could have probably a more exciting day. I mean, for those that will be listening, AJ showed us his gaming collection, and now we're officially jealous.
Yeah, I'm a giant nerd. That's why due to Corona, I don't really do much. Like, I'm diabetic, and my girlfriend's diabetic, so both of us kind of like don't do anything. Yeah, we just stay in. I've just been on like doing like my Twitch channel to like keep in touch with the fans and like, you know, keep people interested. And like, I don't know, it's been fun and it's a great way to interact with people. But at the same time, I feel like, man, I hated when like my friends would come over and we only had like one controller and I had to watch them, and I'd be like, I don't know if I don't feel like I'm entertaining enough to like watch these guys. Like even like the big superstars you're supposed to love watching, like Disrespect, Ninja, like I watch those guys for like, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I watched them for like 30-45 minutes and then I'm just like, all right, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go watch TV or something, or like maybe my ADHD brain is just going like, let's just do something else. You know?
I thought you might be sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I watched your live stream recently with Brad and Chaz from Tia Break. The only thing I thought was disappointing was I kept £5 of my own money because none of you ever once attempted a 360 no scope or a 180 quick scope on Call of Duty. Just, it was all proper serious gaming. And I was like, but there's £5 on the line. And to Brad, that's a lot of money. Love you, Brad.
Dear. So like, you kept saying that, and I was just like, you know what? If I get like really in front of these motherfuckers, then I'm just gonna do it. Like, you know, I'll go nuts and be like, yeah, let's go wild. But dude, Brad was like legitimately really good at that Call of Duty, and like, you know, I play a lot of first-person shooters, but like Call of Duty is not one I do. Like, I like the ones that are like weird and futuristic and like comical, like Apex or like Overwatch and stuff. But like he was going in, like he was like a pro almost, and I was kind of impressed, man. So, but yeah, like that's something new that I started to do is just like there are bands that like, especially now with like COVID happening and no tours happening, I feel like there's a lot of younger bands that like I'm not even trying to say that like I'm a big band, because like I'm not by any means, but like I feel like I have somewhat of a platform where like, and somewhat of a following where like I can help boost these younger bands get at least in front of eyes of other people that they normally couldn't during these times. Like it would be the same kind of thing, like bringing a younger band on tour with us. And like, I was happy to start with those guys with To Your Break. And like, just because they were fans of my old band, and like I met them in my first show ever in England. Like, so like to meet those guys and have them ask me questions like I used to ask, like, you know, the bigger bands nowadays, to see that come first, like full circle, and hear their music and like, you know, see them like actually taking what we said to heart and going and putting that effort in. I really wanted to like boost them and pump them up in like any way possible, just because like I don't know, like I would have loved that if like, you know, it's ironic I say that because I was like, I would have loved that if like, you know, We the Kings or Mayday Parade did that, and now I'm a tech for We the Kings. So like,
Yeah,
those guys are literally
admit,
like
hearing that the
brothers.
first time and hearing that now is still sick.
Yeah.
Still sick. I'm still stoked over the fact that you went, oh, we're not a big band. I'm like, man, Makeout to me are like fucking up there. Oh yeah, you know, we're not a big band, you know, just a couple of hundreds on Spotify. Like, you know, like a couple of our songs, you know.
I know. Well,
not big at all.
Yeah, when Tom said that you were coming on to me, I was like, nah, mate, you're joking. I was like, that's impossible. No, it's like, to me, look, because I know you weren't in the band. You said before, I know you weren't in the band when Crazy came out, but oh my god, and hearing your new stuff as well, I just freaking love it, dude. Honestly, so I listened to it again. When Tom told me, and I was like, well, it's a blast from the past. It really is. But yeah, then when hopefully your new song's good. I haven't heard it yet, so this is going to be really cool to hear your brand new song as well. So
yeah, honestly, it's kind of funny, like joining Makeout, like leaving Sleep On It and joining Makeout was kind of like the funniest transition of my life, because like, you know, I didn't start off music like right out of high school like a lot of these bands do. Like I went to college, I got like my degree and stuff, and through that I ended up meeting my old band, and then, you know, we got some notoriety and whatnot, but like I had spent like 6 years working with this one band to get to where we were, and then like, you know, seeing the decisions and like seeing the landscape and like the people around me change, and realizing that like, yo, this is not something I signed up for, and like having to like just make that decision mentally to go, I have to leave what I've been working on almost my whole life, my whole professional life. And it was terrifying at the same time as it was I was super sad and like upset, but like I knew in my heart of heart that it was the right decision to make. And then ironically, the day that I left, I was supposed to go see With Confidence with my old band, and
I love that band.
So good.
Carry on.
they're great. Oh no, I agree with you. I love that band so much. Like they're all amazing dudes and like the sweetest guys, and their music is just fucking phenomenal. It's like great. Like it was such an honor to like tour with them once. So to like having done that tour and like become friends with them, they like obviously invited us out. And I just didn't go because like it would have been awkward to be at the same place with like the band I just left, and like,
of course,
you know.
yeah.
So I got a couple calls, and like from, you know, Scotty, their guitarist, and then like their tour manager, and like I kind of gave them like, you know, like the cliff notes about what happened, like very brief, not like didn't want to get into it, just be like, I left, you know, no biggie. And they're like, well, fuck that. Like, we want to see you, like, come to the, like, they rent out, like, an RV because they have this, like, cool thing.
That's so badass.
That is.
So I go to their RV and, like, I tell them the whole story and I tell them what's going on. And they're just like, well, you want to be a musician. We can tell. So why don't you just go hit up, like, Makeout doesn't have, like, a legit bassist. Like, they just run through, like, guys left and right. So, like, you're good friends with them, like hit them up. And I was like, yeah, that's actually a good idea, you know? So like on the way back home, like back in Uber days when I was in an Uber,
yeah.
Like I was just like, all right, hey, like, yo, what's good? Like, I see you guys are like looking for like, you know, a singer. If you're still looking for like a bassist, like full time, like let me know. And then like a couple of days later, like, you know, I did the whole like, hey, I know how to play bass, like videos to you guys.
Yeah.
And then like kind of everything just kind of fell into place, you know? So it's just like, it's funny because then like a couple weeks later, Tyler went out to see like the dudes in WithCon, like, you know, up in Rhode Island or whatever. And they're just like, so what's going on with Makeout? Like, and Tyler's like, oh, I think we got a new bassist. And they're like, oh, who? And then like, and like obviously they knew it was me, so they're just like, and then Tyler said it, and he's like, okay, good decision,
yeah.
Right, good choice.
Yeah, this is a good choice.
Brilliant. So how long's that been? How long's that been now?
That was like I think it was 2018, so it was like 2019, I think.
Yeah.
It was just I finished recording Pride and Disaster, and then I left Sleep On It. So I don't know when that came out, but like, Yeah, it was like around that time. So I've been in Makeout for like about 2 years, and yeah, it's fun. It's been awkward as shit because like we got 2 shows in, and then we had like a European like tour and US tour like planned, and literally like the week before we were about to like go, COVID shut everything down.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So
Yeah,
like we already had like, I would say like an EP or like almost like a full length album worth of songs already like done and recorded before this happened.
sweet.
And like right like I would say like 3-4 weeks before all this started happening too, we actually flew out to Florida and we're working with Travis from We the Kings on writing new songs and stuff. And then like on the way back, like flying through the airport, like my sister like used to work at CDC. She's an epidemiologist, so she kind of like has like, you know, a way of like knowing things. And like I'm a younger brother who's diabetic, so she's always like constantly on the lookout. So she called me while I was in the airport. She's like, hey, just like throw up a mask or, you know, cover your mouth when you're in the airport. Just be safe, stay away from people. And I'm like, what's going on? And this is like early February. So I was just like, all right, cool. We're not going to be able to do anything. Like after she told me that, I was like, we're not going to be recording anytime soon. So like everything.
Camera's gone.
Yeah, my mom is calling me.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, Mom. I bet you she's gonna call me again. So I apologize. My mom calls me every day.
Hi, AJ's mom.
yeah, right. Throw her on and be like, "Hey, Mom,
this is fine. Yeah, it's fine." No, that's pretty epic as story goes.
It is.
With confidence, recommending you to join Makeout. Hey, I would love with confidence to recommend me to join a band as well. Put it that way. I'm such a huge fan. They were like, hey, Tom, would you like to be the vocalist for, I don't know, a band? I'm like, yes, whatever. Yes.
Well,
dear. Yeah.
I would not let you down.
Yeah, like it's kind of big shoes to step into to like, you know, have them like, especially like Jaden, who's like a great bassist, be like, yeah, he's a good bassist. Be like, no, I'm not.
You said that?
No,
you said that about me? No.
So it's kind of funny too, because like when I came over to Makeout, like in my old band, like I like before I joined Sleep on It, I used to sing in like high school bands and stuff like that. But when I joined, they're like, you're never singing again. Don't sing. That's it. So I was like, all right, cool. And then when I joined Makeout, they're like, no, so you're gonna be doing like the background vocals and shit. And I'm like, oh shit, now I gotta practice my vocal warm-ups and get back into like that was 6 years ago that I used to sing. That was more of a resume builder, you know?
Yeah.
It was on there like, I know how to use Microsoft Word, all right? I didn't think you guys would pick up on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I know how to make bread. That, like... I didn't think it was useful for the band.
Yeah, right? Like, I know a couple things that I picked up here and there. HTML, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or anything, but I could have been a coder. Could have written Microsoft or Spotify.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, there we go.
But yeah, no, so like I just had to like remember like my old choral like teacher things. Like I actually reached out to like one of my high school like music theory teachers, and I'm like, yo, you got any good vocal warm-ups and stuff just to like get back into that mindset? Yeah. But,
well, I'm trying to teach Tom the kind of breathing techniques at the moment. So breathing from the kind of diaphragm instead of the chest, and get him to do that. He wants to get into singing. I've been a singer when I was younger, and just trying to help this one to
I like how you refer to it as this one, like
this
I'm
one.
Protege.
Yes, you are. You are my co-host.
I'll try to help this one over here. He will one day grow into be the front man for a band.
That's it. Yeah, but yeah, it's good.
Man.
Good fun. It's definitely
my young Padawan, right?
Yes, that's it. He is my young Padawan, definitely. A lot younger, but there we go.
You are definitely never referring to me that as okay. Way, Tim, all right? That's off the freaking record to start with. I don't want to suddenly get onto a podcast with another, be like, hello there, and I'll be like, right, we're stopping this right now. All right?
Oh dear.
Putting the boot down right here.
What are you on about, Tom? This is a snippet for the
what?
for marketing. There we go. There we go. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll jump into the first song. So should we play Home, and then we'll leave the new one till the end?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do that. Cool. All right. So here's Home by, I can't believe I'm saying this, but by Makeout. Enjoy.
I wanted to be held, I wanted to be yours. I wound up feeling broken and lying on the floor. I wanted to feel whole. interest in the fact that I could sing, but I still took you out for movies, and we talked about how we would move to Hollywood. But maybe I misunderstood, 'cause after everything, I don't know when it fell apart. The walls came crashing down just like the ones around my heart. I gave it all I had, and somehow you gave nothing back, and now I'm all alone. Now I'm all alone. I wanted to be held, I wanted to be yours. I wound up feeling broken and lying on the floor. I wanted to feel whole. I wanted to feel whole. Yeah, 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 yeah. You told me all those little things I wanna hear. Your mouth was moving, but the words were insincere. Brick by brick it fell to shit, and now I'm feeling sick from all the lies and all the times you made me feel like this. You said forever, but you never even really cared. When things got serious, yeah, you were never ever there. Now all our favorite spots just look like empty parking lots, and all our fucking favorite songs just sound like stupid sing-alongs. So sing along. I wanted to be held, I wanted to be yours. I wound up feeling broken and lying on the floor. I wanted to feel whole. I wanted to feel whole. I wanted something real, I wanted something more. I wound up feeling broken and lying on the floor. I wanted to feel whole. I wanted to feel whole. I wanted to be held, I wanted to be yours. I wound up feeling broken and lying on the floor. I wanted to feel whole. I wanted to feel whole. I wanted something real, I wanted something more. I wound up feeling broken and lying on the floor. I wanted to feel whole. I wanted to feel whole.
So that was a good. I'm joking. That was freaking amazing.
That
Thank
was.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, you guys have been a band that I've listened to for years and years and years. And yeah, that track's not disappointed. I'm sure the new one won't as well. It's brilliant. Really is.
Thank you.
Nostalgia,
Yeah.
Tom.
I'm not saying it. I'm going to have one podcast where I don't say the word nostalgia.
No, you didn't.
Didn't say it.
There you go.
Nostalgic, on the other hand, I will say. No, so yeah, absolutely. I genuinely cannot believe like I'm listening to this, but there we go. Anyway, I'm going to put the fanboying aside for a bit. So what's the inspirations behind the song? I think is the first question that I want to ask.
Basically it's just like a relationship that like you feel comfortable in and you feel like you've lost, essentially, like any typical thing. It kind of came together ironically after like I left. So me and Kyle went out to LA to do like songwriting with Tyler, and then the day that me and Kyle were supposed to be on the same flight out, but he found a cheaper one and switched. So that left like later that night, or like the next day, like early the next day. So they ended up going and hanging out with Jaden from WithCon, and the three of them started writing, and he kind of came up with like the line, like the melody and the word home. I'm not trying hard. I'm not
so
a good
catchy.
singer.
It's all right.
Yeah. So so like after that, Kyle kind of he does this weird like awesome thing where he kind of goes into a hole where he hears the melody and he just starts writing and going nuts, and then like between the three of them, they kind of like wrote like what was the beginning of Home, which was like softer, a lot more like acoustic and slower. And then kind of we got all together, like us, like our manager, and like we kind of banged it out a little harder and added, more electric guitars, kind of made it a little more like jumpier and like, bumped the BPMs up. And then Scott was like in town, and we had like like 4 or 5 other songs. We ended up like me, Tyler and Kyle ended up staying with our manager for like a week and doing like a songwriting, like kind of like cabin vacation kind of thing.
Nice.
And then we ended up like recording like 4 or 5 songs while we were out there. And we were just like, Scott, next time you're in town, like we need you to like go bang out these drums. And then like he was in town for 5 North like thing. I think it was a recording or something, or like a performance or something. And he literally, the day he was supposed to leave for Brisbane, he had like a late night like flight. That morning, our manager called and was like, "Hey, go to Travis Barker's studio, go drum all the stuff.
Sorry, what?
Let's get it done."
Oh my god!
And then he was just like,
"What a name drop!"
Okay, so like
wow.
Tyler, like Scott calls Tyler because they're both in LA, and he's like, Tyler's like, "I'm going with you." And then like at this point, like we hadn't had anything done, and we weren't planning on doing anything, so I was teching for the Kings at this point, and like we were in a Hooters, like
Nice.
just hanging out in the middle of tour because it was like an off day, and I get literally a text message with just a video of Travis Barker drumming over Home, and I was just like,
That's
"You gotta be
incredible.
shitting me!"
Wow.
And like honestly, like the most surreal moment of my life was like I looked up in my like from seeing Travis Barker on a song that like I helped write. I look up and I'm with We the Kings in like a Hooters. Like I was just like, you know, like 13-year-old AJ would be shitting himself.
My life
that day,
is
like,
done.
It's just like, that's
like-
it.
Oh,
I
I just
I've,
want
like-
to tell everyone every time I see people. This is that
Right.
one time Travis Barker did drums on my song, and I was sitting with none other than We the fucking Kings. All right.
wow.
So just like it would be nicer if like I was like, you know, on tour with them, not like as like their tech. I'll always love and I will always be their tech, but man, I just want to like tour with those big guys. Like I know that Makeout has already toured with Blink, but like I want to do it again. Like I want to go back with those guys.
Amazing.
It's like I didn't get to do it.
Yeah.
I was in a different band.
Defo.
Like, it's one
Wow.
of those things where like it's an honor to be in a band who's already done it, but like man, I want to do it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like-
well, I think you guys are still going to be doing those gigs in the next few years because you're still awesome.
hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, you still
I
are.
appreciate that.
Well,
it's just
sorry, go
nice
on,
to
Tom.
hear what literally what 14-year-old me absolutely freaking loved, and it's just it's so like dropping names like Travis Barker, We the Kings, we're confident. And my 14-year-old self right now is going like, I can't fucking believe I'm having these conversations.
I know.
Oh man, it's honestly I feel like a lot of the time I kind of like lucked out into it. Like I just got I got really lucky, but you know, looking back, like the 6 years that I struggled in my old band, like it was hard work. Like, you know,
Yeah.
the reason we first got any attention or anything was because we were in the snow outside of the House of Blues in Chicago, like negative degrees, handing out flyers to like a basement show. And like our manager like noticed us. So like from like it's little things like that I try to tell like younger bands, like, you know, you gotta just keep consistent and like work hard, because like, you know, shit like that is, you know, eventually gonna lead you to where you are, like where I am now. So it's just
Yeah.
like if it's what you want, you gotta like keep going, grinding away, and eventually someone's gonna notice.
Yeah, that was one of my questions actually. I mean, what kind of tips would you give to younger bands, smaller bands to kind of try and get known or a bit more?
I mean, definitely what I just said, like keep, you know, grind it, flyering, go out to concerts like post-COVID. Also, I think the best thing and the most like important thing for younger bands to do that a lot of them don't is spend money on a good recording and like get a good producer. Like I know some bands are like, man, I can just record a whole album by myself and like only spend like so much money to get any of the equipment and everything. And it's like, yeah, you can, but if you just have one good song that sounds great, that's the difference in a career. Like a good example is Panic at the Disco. Like they didn't have any concerts under their belts. They had one demo with, I think it was like Time to Dance or Camisado or something. And Pete Wentz heard it and he's like, I'm going to sign these guys. And it's just like, that's just one good recording is the difference between a career. So if you're going to spend your money on recording, go to a good producer, even if it's just one song instead of like 5. it's better to have one great song.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, we'll tell them. I mean, there's
to you actually, Tim, because there's a band that I picked up on Insta called For Ye the Moon, who we're getting on in a couple of weeks, and they're like a kind of British band, but on Spotify they've got one song, and I was going to Tim, I was going, this is the kind of band where you like, damn, if you're that good just because you have one song and you're signed, that's incredible in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like, it's the difference between focusing on making one single like item immaculate and perfect and have that be your first impression, or have it be something where it's like you have multiple different things that are good but not great because you didn't spend that extra dollar on it. Just because like, and this is coming from somebody who owned a recording studio, like some people have the ear that you don't. It took me years to get it, and there are still some producers who are much better than me that I look up to and I still try to learn from, because they have that ear, they have that thing, and it's all about like time and like time spent behind the console and like understanding the difference in like, you know, tiny hertz, like just the smallest differentiation can like change the way an entire instrument sounds. So it's like, I think that's like the best piece of advice I can give to a band is like, just grind it out, keep your head down, keep working hard, and have like one great song.
Yeah. Well, there's a band called Slacker from the UK, actually. I had on the podcast before Tom was on, and their newer songs, they're absolutely brilliant. I mean, they've been produced well, and they've just been noticed, actually, just got a management deal. And they're doing really well for themselves. So hope to them, and for other smaller bands, listen to AJ. He knows what he's talking about.
So now picking on your younger you, what were your top 3 songs growing up that you would go, these are what if I had an iPod or whatever, this is what I would be having on repeat?
Oh man, that's kind of difficult for me, man. We
can make it 5
or 10.
I was totally the weird kid that like listened to everything. I grew up in like Georgia, like southern Georgia, like in Alpharetta, Atlanta. So like I listened to a lot of like hip hop and rap and stuff, and like hardcore music was huge there. Yeah. So like I listened to that too, but like definitely it's gonna be a lot of pop punk, but damn, that's a hard one. I guess somebody in Fall Out Boy wrote a song about, or I slept with somebody in Fall Out Boy and all I got was a stupid song written about me is definitely number 1. Because Fall Out Boy had those fucking long things, but that one song always stood out to me. Jesus, Campfire by Childish Gambino would definitely be on there.
Love a bit of Childish Gambino.
Ooh, probably Downfall of Us All would be the last one.
Ooh,
nice.
A Day to Remember.
Track and a half.
Yeah,
track and a half,
so,
definitely.
Oh, actually.
Oh no.
Let's Get Fucked Up and Die. Maybe another one too. I think
I
think that'd be the Motion City soundtrack.
Ah, yes.
It's like LG Fuad or whatever, but it's like it's LGFAUD is how it's like spelt out, but it's
yes, that I remember now. I remember, yeah. I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh yeah. Childish me did not know what that stood for.
No.
Yeah. No, like I was the nerd that was like, oh wow. So this dude sang on this band, like, cause like I was listening to like Take This to Your Grave, Fall Out Boy, and like he sings on like I think it was Saturday or something, or
yes, it is. Yeah.
So I heard that, I'm like, yo, this isn't Patrick Stum's voice. And then like I also saw them on the Nintendo Fusion tour back in the day. So I was just like, this band fucking rocks. And then like I was the nerd that like no matter what, like if it had like ginsefs or whatever, like any like little tiny like weird words, I would go figure it out. Like I think there's one song where like, oh, it's a Childish Gambino, and he's just like, he says something along the lines where it's just like, oh fuck, it's like some lettering, and it's just like, I remember looking it up and being like, oh, it's just gratuitous picture of yourself, and I was just like GPU. I think it's just like, yeah. He keeps saying like, send me a GPU or something, and I was just like, what is that? Yeah, my phone is like 20%. So I was just like, what is that? And it's just like gratuitous picture of yourself. Send me a gratuitous picture of yourself. And I was just like, that's not as bad as I was expecting it to be for a hip hop song. Like, it's just like send me a dumb picture of yourself, and it's like, okay, let's do it. Like, so I'm that nerd that like will go into like lyrics and like study it and be like, what does this mean? I need to know everything about what this song is.
I'm exactly the same. I mean, my kind of first introduction to music was my dad, who got me into like 50s rock and roll, all of that kind of thing. And yeah, absolutely loved that stuff. And then when I grew up a bit, got to about 8 or 9, I started listening to Good Charlotte, Green Day, those kind of ones. So I'm a bit older than Tom.
Fine, we don't age. We're not age shaming here, are we?
We're not. No, not at all. Not at all.
I feel like I'm older than all of you guys, so I'm just.
I don't know. I'm 33. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, no, I'm younger than you.
Yes. But no, I can't remember which podcast it was, Tom. There was one that someone said, whatever age you were at high school, pop punk was the go-to genre. Can you remember who it was?
You know what? We'll go back for it. Was it Halfway Atlantic?
It might have been Halfway Atlantic. Yeah.
We'll act like it was them, even though it probably won't have been them. But shout out to them as well. Oh gosh, I'm just trying to think now, because my top 3, I've said like many different versions of a top 3. So instead, I'm going to change it up and be like the top 3 songs that I would consider to be pop punk, with confidence, Voldemort, because I've said this many times, but a song like that where they have a title that actually has no meaning whatsoever to a song, because that's how I discovered it. I was like, there is a band that's singing about Harry Potter, and then I played it, and it was like, I remember the first time, and I was like, oh damn, I did not expect this at all. That was number 1. I absolutely love Sum 41. I love Fat Lip.
That's
Sum
like
41.
Quintessential pop punk right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Even though In Too Deep was the first song I ever heard from them, and I really dreamed of being the one to like dive into a pool and then like play a guitar solo coming out the pool, and I was like, I know that would ruin the guitar and I would need an amp, and it's not possible, but still.
Yeah, I need a bit of money.
Music video world, anything works.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, defo.
And oh gosh, the third one. What is the third one going to be? Because this is the issue. Because
I'm gonna have to do a sign on as well.
I'm gonna say State Champs. I'm gonna say All You Are Is History or State Champs.
Yeah.
Because the lines, I'm a realist and an optimist, but I swear to you, I'm not getting over this. That whole piece, it's something where I needed to scream out every time I hear it, and it's just, you come up with your own like dance choreography for it. But those are my top 3 pop punk songs. And I've said many different versions of that list, so there's probably going to be a change to that.
Yeah, probably. Right, okay, is it my go? Go on, AJ.
Go ahead.
You want me to go?
I was just going to say, it's wild because, like, you know, I've worked with Jaden and Derek on, like, songwriting, and they have 2 completely different ways of going about it, but they're also probably 2 of the best, like, melodic writers and, like, I would say, like, hook writers of like the pop punk like new generation. And it's like it's so fun and interesting to like see how they go about writing songs. Like
genius. Yeah, it is. Okay, my go. So for me, I think the most pop punk song ever has to be Alistair and Summer on Fullerton.
Which you only just sent to me, and then I was like, where has this been the whole of my life?
and then I'm going to delve into my age a bit more and probably say Good Charlotte festival song is utterly amazing, and the anthem as well by Good Charlotte.
I was gonna say that's also
that's 2 in 1. We'll do that.
And also, you've missed out Lifestyle of the Rich and the Famous, which
so 3 in 1.
which, by the way, is like one of the, if not the best song by
them. And then
I love how the Madden Bros went from singing about that, and now they're both married to like Nicole Richie and Cameron.
Yeah.
Has anyone put that together? Like
no one's really like discussed that. We've been too obsessed with Machine Gun Kelly to then go, wait a second, the guys from like Good Charlotte have literally gone and done the Lifestyle of the Rich and the Famous.
So we'll ask them when they're on the podcast, Tom.
Definitely, Tim. In like, I don't know how many years, maybe.
It will happen. It has to happen. They're my favourite band of all time, so they need to be on.
Keep that positivity.
Exactly, yeah. And then I would have to say probably Green Day, just the whole Dookie album.
Yeah.
I can't give you one song.
I mean, that's a classic.
It's just amazing. But there we go. So that's me really. But as Tom says, they change every bloody podcast. I don't know. There we go.
It's just sad to think that some of those songs are now like on what is it now? This is what I call dad rock or whatever.
I know.
Like,
no, it's not.
Yeah,
bro,
like
this is what I listen
Blink
to.
182 is like on. Now that's what I call dad rock, and I'm just like, dad rock.
Is it because we're getting to that age?
What I call triggered.
Yeah.
I'm triggered right now.
I don't know.
Right?
Is it the age thing? I mean, those songs that were when I was younger. Now I'm the kind of age to be a dad. I don't know.
I think that's what it's starting to be, man. Like,
Yeah.
It's also weird to think that 70s show when it came out is the equivalent to like us doing that 90s show right now.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of
Mental.
weird to think about. Yeah.
No, I don't want to think about this.
It's like, I'm old.
I don't want to think about it. I just want to jam out to pop punk and ignore things.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
I also saw this the other day. It's just like, how do you signal like with your hand that you're calling somebody? Like, show me how you guys would do it.
So like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
On
and
my
then
own.
anybody who's like born after 2000s looks at you and like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, dude, I'm old.
I'm just like, wait, what? No.
Oh dear.
Like, yeah,
God,
because
yeah.
do this, because that's like picking it up off a receiver.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Thanks,
Blew your
Mum, for
mind,
teaching me that one.
yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Definitely show the age
But I
there.
get this now. I get this because we're all like that. We're like, I'm on the phone, or it's like that. It's slowly
Yeah.
just becoming like server and server to like the ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like AirPods, mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, God.
Oh dear.
Right,
Well, it's
yeah.
like when people have a hat on in the supermarket or something, like a woolly hat, and they're talking to themselves, but then you actually realise they've probably got pods in.
Yeah,
Don't think
right,
they are
yeah.
actually talking to themselves at all.
Is everything
So-
all right with?
Yeah.
Oh no, you're on the phone.
Yeah.
I won't ask you again, sir. Don't you worry.
Dude, it was worse when like Bluetooth first came out. Even with those big
Yeah.
honkers, people were just like, "Is he talking to it?" Oh no, like
That's
Oh,
it.
Bluetooth back in the day when you used to send a song across via phone. Be like, man, what's that song? And would you mind just waiting 10 minutes here just so you can
Yeah.
send it to me on my Bluetooth?
Oh dear.
I remember when my dad first told me about the concept of Bluetooth, and he was just like, "Yeah, it's like a tooth they implant in your like head, and like it's more for like coaches and like quarterbacks, so the coach can call the quarterback and tell him what's going on." I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense. And if like
Oh,
I don't know
dear.
if my dad was just like messing with me or if that literally was the entire like first product or like plot of that. Either
Might be.
way, dumb.
Yeah.
Just dumb. And like to have that from where like I remember when Bluetooth first started coming out to like now I'm just like, man, I'm old. Like I remember when there was no internet. Like
Mhm.
I mean,
That makes me, like,
yeah.
old.
I think the closest thing I remember to no internet was occasionally when my mum would used to receive emails on the dial-up PC that used to be like that, and it used to be AOL and go like, "You have email," and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Ooh." Just like
Yeah.
3 lines, and now I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I'll just send an email. Bang, sent an email.
yeah,
Doesn't
everything's
even-
on your phone now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Literally.
just I've got like multiple emails. I don't even care. I don't even need AOL to tell me I've got an email. I've got 155 in my junk mail because I haven't
Yeah.
been checking and I'm subscribed to like an Argos website or something like that.
That's it. Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
It's just funny to me because like I was watching like no joke, I was really bored the other day and I watched Power Rangers for like the first time since I was like
But
10.
which one? But
Nice.
which one?
The Mighty Morphin, like the original. And
Oh,
like
wow,
I
that-
looked at them go and like talk to their thing. I'm like, man, that's
Yeah.
an Apple Watch.
Yeah. Ahead of their time.
Like just
Oh,
wait, like I'm just waiting for actual hoverboards to come out because like the fucking Back to the Future self-lacing shoes is like a real thing. Like
Yes.
where's
Yeah.
my damn
Yeah.
hoverboard?
I know,
That's what
come
I-
on. Yeah, well, I hate it. They call the ones on wheels hoverboards. They're not hoverboards. They are not
Yeah.
They're
hoverboards.
segways without handles. They're just
Don't
more
you
difficult.
Don't you dare call them that.
Exactly.
I want to lean
yeah.
forward. I want something to put my hands on. I feel unstable.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
dear.
It's just more of
Yeah.
a risk of face planting than I needed. I didn't need to travel slightly faster than walking. If I wanted to do that, I'd
Yeah.
just get a scooter from when I was like.
I'll just take a light jog, man.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
That was that's
some
the other
actual
thing that's coming into
exercise.
fashion at the moment is scooters, electric scooters, and I'm like, what's the big deal? I had one when I was like 5.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually love those electric scooters, especially for like on tour when you don't have like, you only have like 30 minutes to spare and you don't want to like take a cab anywhere because it's stuck in traffic or whatever.
Brilliant.
But if there's like for me, especially like comic book stores, there's usually always a comic book store within like 20-30 minute walk. So I just hop on one of those scooters. I get there in 10 minutes, get all my comics, hop back, and I'm ready to go. Like, just chill in the green room reading comics. Like,
It's just like,
sounds good.
We're on in 5 minutes. Where the hell have you been? This bad boy.
Oh yeah, dude, I come back with this and like, you know, food, and they're like, oh, so you had a day. And I was like, dude, those electric scooters, man. I get shit done.
Bands that are listening now, what you need is you need to have one good song and an electric scooter. That's how you win in this world. It's cutthroat.
Okay.
You've got to have an electric scooter.
So no joke, like the bird scooters, like the like actual like sponsored. I don't know if you guys have them over
I don't
there,
think we do.
like,
No.
So in the US we have like sponsored like apps, so you can like go up and just like charge, and they just have them like parked wherever, and they're like public.
Okay, yeah, we've got like bikes similar. Yeah.
I went out of my way to be like, yo, we need to get, in my old band, we need to get sponsored by one of these. And like, I got us a meeting, and like, our meeting kind of didn't go well, but like, I kind of was just like, yo, like, let's try to steer it this way. And me and our manager kind of just like managed to salvage it. So they were like, okay, cool. So we're going to get you guys like custom with like your own band badge, and we'll send it out to you, and it'll be nice. And like, you know, one of ours that you can use, but has all your like logos and emblems on it, and we'll give you like unlimited rides. And I was just like, yo, this is awesome. And then I realized after I had left that none of that had already come in. So like a year's worth of work that I had done to get all that stuff together, I didn't get to take advantage of. And like, they got my scooter, and like, I didn't get that. Like, so like, I think our manager got it, and I was just like, man, I worked so hard. And I literally went, like, when I came to Makeout, I was like, so, and like, I emailed them, like, hey, so I am in a different band now.
Like, surely this is
we get
spam,
that
right?
going again?
It's just you turning up with like another, like, it's just like, is this guy just operating for many, many bands, just trying to get like sponsorship deals for scooters?
Just shave my beard off and grow like a huge mustache and just be like, yo.
I don't know who you're on about. I'm a completely different person.
Exactly. And all because I just wanted a scooter, man. I just wanted my own scooter.
I think, you know, if you could help us get Punkio Podcast scooters, I think
do it.
we would be beyond impressed. Hey, this is a dream come true anyway. We're speaking about, but Punkio Podcast scooters, man, that is a different level. For all the times I need to go from my lounge to my room, which is upstairs, but it's fine. It just means I have a scooter.
Might be a bit hard, yeah.
Doing like a 180 off the top of the steps to get downstairs. I'll be like, yeah, fucking Red Bull, where you at? I'm gonna be doing some fucking tricks.
Honestly, man, like, I've kind of realized, like, I don't know if you guys had this show, but there was like this weird show in like on MTV in like the like 2000s, 2010s, like I think like late 2009, like early 2010s. It was called like The Young Life, and it was all about these 4 dudes who just went out of their way to do whatever they can, and they would lie, they would act like they belonged there and all this shit. So they literally got on red carpet for movie events. They like acted like they were princes of things, and all they did was just like, it was 4 dudes, and they just acted and like super self-confident and went out of their way to like, if one of them wanted to do something, all 4 of them would focus on getting that done, no matter what it was. Like, if it was like climbing a mountain or doing whatever. And one of the ones I saw was them breaking into a red carpet event. And it literally was just, they printed laminate badges with a fake like publishing company that like, they're like, oh, we're on this like internet, and walked in with fake credentials and just acted like there, and they got in. They interviewed everybody. They like met a bunch of free stuff, and like from that point on, I've kind of always been like, just kind of have that mentality of like, even if you don't think you belong there, fake it, just fake it. And like that mentality has gotten me to places I never thought I'd be. Like great example, like we played Riot Fest in my old band once, and I literally was just backstage in the artist area because I had the artist band and I could go wherever. walked into VIP, just started eating free food. Nobody called me out on anything. Next thing I knew, like Wu-Tang Clan was sitting right next to me.
What the heck? No.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't be here. And then security comes up and be like, hey, let me see your wristband. And I showed it to him, like, whatever. Like, and the guy's like, all right, cool. And then like my manager, who actually like used to run Riot Fest, he comes up to me and he like grabs me by my hoodie and is like, what the fuck are you doing here? You need to get the fuck out of here. Like, and I'm just like, what? And he's just like, I know you're not supposed to be here. Don't act like you know you're supposed to be here. And I'm just like, nobody said anything. Just like,
brilliant.
So it's just like, you kind of just have to do that. Like, especially in the music industry, man, like just don't be an asshole. Never be an asshole. Always be genuine, kind, and thank everybody, even the people like sound guys, like people who are cleaning up like at the venues. Always be grateful and kind, because they're the ones who are helping you put on the show. Without them, there's no show. So if you're an asshole to them, you're just an asshole. So don't be an asshole. But there's a difference between confidence and being a dick. If you're confident and you believe that you should be there, even if you don't think so, there's a difference between like that. People will be like, okay, he deserves to be here, whatever. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but like,
it's fine. It's fine.
Don't be an asshole. Don't
be an asshole.
Always be nice.
Have an electric scooter. One song.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm making notes on my own band.
I'm just trying to give advice.
No, it's honestly, it's one of the great things about having you on. It's just to be given the opportunity to ask these questions, because some of the bands we get on, for example, Halfway Atlantic, Wild Nights, Tia Break even, like they're still coming up through. They're still trying to establish themselves. And the whole point, I guess, of our podcast is to try and be this I wouldn't say gateway, but the opportunity to go, hey, by the way, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we were talking to AJ from Makeout. By the way, that episode will get X amount of, we expected to get this much. We can have you guys on in the same, like, kind of, same couple of weeks, so that hype is still there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it will give you some more exposure. Or there will be people, they'll go, you know what, screw it, we're going to type Makeout. Oh my God, there's Makeout on this show. And then they'll click across and find your band. And it will be like another weird way of doing it. So what I'm trying to also get at is, it helps to be confident, because I completely lost my point. But idea being, we're all here to help, right? We're all just here to help and be there. That was the weirdest ramble to try and get to one point, but there we go.
Yeah, that pretty much
my ramble led to your ramble.
Yeah,
so I feel
Tim, it's over to you for a ramble.
Over to me. Yeah. Well, I mean, just starting the podcast. That was one of the main reasons I started. I mean, I never thought within how long I've been going now, since November. I never thought within this amount of time I'd get bands like yourself. As December Falls coming on soon, Carousel Kings, Settle Your Scores. I mean, I was amazed. I really was. I mean, I got 2 of them. Tom got 2 of them, and yeah, I was so happy. And I mean,
all it took was just showing up in my Twitch stream and asking.
And also referencing
open.
M&S. I thought that was also a big deal as well, to reference Marks and Spencer's about Tor Foods.
I love how you guys talked about that so much, and I'm just going here like it sounds like it sounds like a supermarket. So I'm just gonna go with
it is a supermarket. It is. That's why. But it's a posh supermarket.
Yeah. Now, I get my food. I'm mostly posh then, so I get my food from there, Tom.
What the hell are you doing buying that? That's perfectly reasonable. I'm not discouraging, by the way, Marks and Spencer's as a possible place to get food. They do serve lovely Percy Pig sweets. There was something that I grew up on. My grandma used to buy for me, and I was very much a fan of these. But other than that, you can get literally everything else for 10 times cheaper from, like, I don't know, everywhere.
You say that, but I we're going to rant about food here for a bit. But I used to do delivery shopping we've done Sainsbury's and Tesco's and Asda during lockdown, and M&S has been the cheapest by about £40-50 every time.
What? That's why is it?
So
okay, fair enough. But nonetheless, going back to the original point, so I was in AJ's Twitch Twitch stream, Twitch chat, whatever, because Tia Break was being interviewed by AJ, and I was like, you know what, this is pretty sick. I mean, I just want to see what it would look like, learn some tips. And in the end, it was just every time Brad was saying something or Charlie was saying something, I'd like plug a comment in just to like have a go at one of the two. It was brilliant. So it'd be like Charlie would say something, and I'd be like, ha ha ha. lame.
I love that they actually started reading it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo.
Like,
I said it a couple times, and then Chaz was just like, all right, I got to see what's going on. Like, comment.
That was the point where I was like, I think I've broken the guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think we nearly broke them on that podcast, to be honest, as well.
It was just Charlie, as a guy that I've only met now once officially, but chatted to him so many times because of COVID via Discord and all these things, is so funny. And as a band, they're so genuine people. And this is one of the reasons I absolutely love them. So when I went to go and see As December Falls, I met them afterwards. And they were the most genuine guys ever. And there's me literally like fanboying the fact that I'm meeting a band. And then furthermore, meeting As December Falls and just having this like amazing fanboying moment. And now I'm like chatting to Charlie and regularly insulting him. And I'm still just a little bit like, this isn't happening. Like, this isn't happening. Whatever. Amazing. But no, he's fucking hilarious. Especially the fact that when Tim randomly asked a band, hey, what is your favorite vegetable? We had this chat prior to coming on the podcast. I was like, we don't need to have random question. And Tim's like, what's your favorite vegetable, guys? We need to make out this podcast for an hour and a half. Got to fill that time. Get these important questions in.
Tomatoes.
Cool.
That's not even a vegetable. That's a fruit.
It's a fruit. Yeah.
Sorry. No.
Carrot? Is that
cool?
Yeah, we'll go with that. So why carrot, AJ? Why is carrot your favorite vegetable?
It helps your eyes. It helps your eyes, man.
Yeah, see in the dark. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Every time someone mentions carrots and it helps eyes, there's a YouTuber called Tom Scar, and he did the ASD. Yes, I'm so glad you know. It's just so good. Did you know carrots are good for your eyesight? You lied to me.
Brilliant.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It's so good though. It's so good. I've watched that ever since I was like, same time I kind of picked up on pop punk. So it was the YouTube era, and then discovering that I'm really into the niche music that none of my mates like, because they're all into pop music and cool stuff, and they all are cool and stuff. Oh man.
There we go.
Tell you what, Tim, should we listen to the new track?
I was just about to say, should we jump into the new one? Here we go. Here's Wish You Were Here by Makeout. Enjoy.
Since you went to LA, and I try to tell myself it's gonna be alright, but you keep getting in the way. I take another shot to wash it down. I hate it when the truth comes out. It's 3 a.m. and the party's over. I'm drunk again, but I'm starting to sober up, and the thought of us just won't disappear. And I wish you were here. Wish you were here. I heard that you moved on with somebody new, but that doesn't faze me. I'm moving on too. And I try to tell myself it's gonna be alright, but the memories keep coming through. I take another shot to numb the pain. I wish I could shut off my brain. It's 3 a.m. and the party's over. I'm drunk again, but I'm starting to sober up, and the thought of us just won't disappear. And I wish you were here. Wish you were here. I take another shot to numb the pain. I wish I could shut off my brain. It's 3 a.m. and the party's over. I'm drunk again, but I'm starting to sober up, and the thought of us just won't disappear. And I wish you were here. Double home, but I can't stop pacing, thinking of you, and my heart starts breaking up, and the thought of us just won't disappear. were here.
Oh my fucking
Oh, we took that last bit out.
God.
I forgot.
Oh, what?
Oh,
want-
no, I was just like, I haven't heard this song in like a minute since we edited it all. So we used to have like, I think there was something dumb that Kyle said in the studio that was at the end. And I was just like, oh, we actually took that out. Okay, that's pretty good that we took that out because that was dumb.
There we go. When it transitions to another song, there we go. But yeah, oh my God. Wow. Seriously. So for me, that it kind of went trappy straight away, like the trap kind of beat. And yeah, you're kind of going into the modern pop punk, I guess, but still trying to stay, again, for Tom, nostalgic. But, oh my God. Tom, go on. You want to say something?
It's going to sound weird, but it reminded me of I forgot what the song is called. It's Flow Rider, Good Feeling. The reason being is because at the start of that song, it's got the guitar strumming very similar sound to that, and that's what I picked up.
I know what you're feeling. Yeah.
So and immediately that for me that screams summertime, which is why immediately I was like halfway listening to you is like, man, I am listening to this cruising right now and just smiling. This is like one of those songs where you have the radio up high, have the roof down in your car, and you're just cruising. You're just like, this is a damn good banger. This is I have no words. It's just it drops it drops in such a nice way. So it's a summertime feel good song in my opinion.
Sure is.
Yeah. No, so like I said, we worked with Travis with We the Kings, and we were constantly talking about how we want like a summertime kind of jam song like that. And Kyle ended up like during COVID, when none of us wanted to fucking leave our houses, Kyle had the balls to go and hang out with our manager again up in his studio. And he works with another producer called Matt Malpass, who works with like Travis Barker and like a bunch of other people like with Feldman and stuff like that. And so the three of them were like alone in like a studio, and like Kyle really just wanted to write and like figure something out. And like between the three of them, they ended up coming up with that song. Nice. And, you know, me, Tyler, and Scott were kind of all just at home like, I wonder what's going on over there. And then one day we get this song out of the blue and we're like, oh, okay, this is good. And then like sent to Tyler to do like guitar, and then sent to, you know, Scott to do drums. There's not a lot of bass on it. It's mostly like trap and 808. So like I'm going to be honest, I didn't do anything on this song. Like I did zero, but I love it. I think it's amazing. It's like, it's definitely the vibe that we were going with. And the thing about Makeout that I love is that like, even though there's times when like, you know, some of us don't write, we all are aware of what is a good song. And we're definitely going to be okay with like going, yo, that's a good song. I don't care if I'm not involved. Let's just put that out kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like there's no ego really. It's more about like, let's just get the best product.
Yeah.
So
I mean, is that the kind of style you think you're going to go for in the future? Hopefully with a bit more bass for you.
I'm just going to be on the keyboard on the side, just like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it one of those like wearable ones from like
Guitar.
Hello Goodbye. Go for the Hello Goodbye theme from Hearing Your Arms.
Yeah, I was gonna be like Victoria from Cobra Starship.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Vicky T, I think was her name. Yeah.
Yeah, Vicky T, I think. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, as far as like sound and stuff, yeah, this one kind of came out of left field. I think it was more just like we wanted something that would be like radio friendly, something that we can like jam to and like get the crowd like pumped up and like rowdy. I don't know. There was like this kind of a podcast, or like I guess it was like a YouTube series about this guy who's talking about how like MGK is right and pop punk is like not fun anymore. Like back in our day, we used to see like all those like party anthems and like, you know, the music videos of people surrounded in a pool playing a concert and like skateboarders going nuts and stuff. And like now it's more like emotional, like, you know, flannel sweaters, talking about how you're feeling and stuff. And he's like, and that's why people don't like that's why it's not as popular as it used to be, because people just, when they listen to music, they just want to jam, they just want to dance. And like, you know, 80s hair metal was all about like, let's get fucked up and have a good time. And then like even though 90s was like kind of grunge, you still kind of had like, you know, some 41 and like those party rock anthem kind of things. So it's just like, I think we have the ability to not only like be kind of like Blink 182y and like have those party rock like styles, but we can also kind of blend that as well as like the modern day, like, you know, modern day emo, where it's just like we are actually emotional, like you heard with Home. So I feel like we as a band are in that like weird middle space, that like nice, like, you know, bittersweet area where everything's like, you know, happy medium. Where we can travel back and forth between those and still be who we are as a band.
You can definitely tell.
Yeah. I mean, we also saw that, like, you know, MGK is like huge right now, and like what he's doing that's different is just like, you know, throwing some trap beats in and out once in a while. And like, you know, like like I said, I'm like a rap dude. Like I listen, that sounded so old and stupid and corny as shit. I'm sorry. But like I grew up listening to like hip hop and rap and like Outkast and like Ludacris and like that Southern style rock and stuff.
Freaking bangers all around there.
Yeah, right. And like that, and I grew up in Atlanta when everybody was wearing the Atlanta Hots, doing the A-Town Stomp and like talking about that. So like to me, to like be able to like also add that kind of element with the trap beats and stuff is something that like I've always wanted to do. Yeah. Like I've always dreamed of doing like, you know, did you guys ever listen to Collision Course, Linkin Park and Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Unbelievable album. Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that with like another rapper. Like I was just like, wish I could find like a rapper that would be like into rock as much as like he's like a rapper. Like to me, my dream would be Childish Gambino, like Makeout.
Yeah,
that would be
out. Like that would be
incredible.
That would.
Can I just say, I would buy many tickets to see not just Makeout but Childish Gambino, because he is a fantastic rapper, and Donald Glover as an actor and as a general human being is fantastic in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that would be incredible to see you guys do like some crazy mashups.
Oh yeah, we really wanted to try to get Nothing Nowhere to do like a verse on one of these songs, and he's just too busy. Like
that'd be good.
Yeah, so
really
you know, it's just something that like I love that like Makeout, even though like it's stupid, they allow me to run with stupid ideas sometimes. So like when I was just like, I heard this song and I was like, yo, if we could get Nothing Nowhere on here, like, dude, our manager like reached out and tried to get it to happen. I was just like, yo, fuck yeah. Like I was just being a dick, and like just like this would be dope if this happened. Like just
definitely would.
You know, daydreaming, and like they go with it, and I'm just like, this is awesome. Like it's such a like it's I just want to say it's like it's such a heartwarming feeling to know that you got like guys behind you that like even if they don't see what you're doing, they trust in your vision enough to like
that's good.
Fucking charge forward with you. And then if they like realize that, okay, this is pretty bad, this is a bad idea, like you've gotten so far with them that you yourself are like, yeah, it is a bad idea, let's all go back kind of thing, because they allow you that the space to like be creative and be like, you know, make those mistakes. And I think that's kind of what music and art is. Woo!
Oh, hello. How's he gone?
Get deep and serious, and then my phone falls.
I love the fact that you're like, you know, it allows you to make those mistakes. What manager, we need you here.
Right.
Oh dear.
But yeah, it's that song in particular was like one that really caught me by surprise, and I'm like super happy and proud of it, you know.
That's really cool. Again, reminds me of an artist that I've had on. So he was my first ever interview, actually. Third episode I did. Second, I think, actually. A guy called Nate Flood. So he does the kind of pop punks, trap. All his songs are that kind of style. So it's nice to hear another band kind of coming out and doing it that haven't really done it before. But yeah. Unbelievable.
I want to ask the question, and I've asked it so many times, but just to get your opinion on it, what is your opinion on Machine Gun Kelly and the likes of Mod Sun coming into pop punk?
Oh man,
I know it's divisive.
It's especially for me because like I've had the honor of meeting MGK on that last We the Kings tour. He came out and did a like feature with the Kings. Yeah. He came out and played Check Yes and played guitar. And it was an interesting feeling in the fact that like he didn't really like he brought his own drummer with him, and his drummer was the one that kind of interacted with me as the tech, and I was supposed to be the one that like I had to give him my ears, I had to give him his guitar that he was borrowing, and like have everything strapped in. And it was kind of like a little weird to have a middleman when I was trying to tell him like, okay, here, use channel this, and like here's the guitar you need, make sure you turn it up. And like I just wanted to make sure as a tech, this is my first time teching, that like everything was clear and like what he needed to be done. And it just felt weird that like, you know, I had to tell his drummer, who then told him. And like I feel like he's very divisive in like saying those things about like don't wear comfortable shoes, like in a genre that he is like entering in, when he had been like a rapper. And like, you know, my old guitarist went to high school and saw him like giving his old rap CDs in like the parking lot. So it's just like,
that's crazy
to see him like switch, and like because he already had that platform of rap, to go into pop punk and like be successful is great. Like I love that it's bringing new light and, you know, bringing pop punks to the forefront again. But it's kind of weird for me to be like, you know, if I went into like country and be like, yo, you're not country unless you wear like a 10-gallon hat and cowboy boots. Like, I just think it's kind of like, I feel like what he's trying to say in that is that like punk needs to be back to where it was in its roots, and the fact that like you don't give a fuck, like it doesn't matter what's going on or what is like, you know, comfortable. You're there to disrupt the energy, you're there to disrupt what people normally think. If that's what he's trying to say, then yo, I get it, I totally agree with you. We need to go back to our old punk thing and be like, yo, fuck politics, fuck these assholes, like fuck Trump, fuck Bush, like all that shit needs to come back. American idiot, like yes, I agree. But if it's like, yo, don't wear comfy shit, like dude, there are bigger issues at play. And like I don't think that that's what he's saying. I do think he was more like, hey, let's just be punk again, and like, you know, go out and change the world in a positive, no matter what people are trying to prevent us to do. Yeah. And like that I get behind wholeheartedly. Like I can get behind that to 100th, like exponentially. But like I feel like he does go about it in like a privileged kind of mindset.
I get what you mean. I
comes across a bit cocky kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like rude or like negative.
No.
I love what he's doing. I think it's great. I think it's needed. Punk needs like somebody to come in and kick its ass and bring it back to forefront like he is. Yeah. But at the same time, like I don't like I know punk is to be cocky at some points, but like I don't appreciate the way he's going about talking down to the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I get you. And I think in a way, the first time when I heard he was going in, I was like, this is interesting. And then actually hearing all the comments, I was like, in a way, he's being very punk about it, because he's rebelling against and being punk against punk, which is in theory just a bit of an oxymoron. And when I heard the comfy shoes thing, in my mind, that's just about, well, pop punk was jumpy. It was energy. It wasn't about being static. It was about jumping around and having this energy, this life. I created a playlist, and it was around having one song from every band that I fell in love with growing up, plus others who have messaged that says, is this pop punk or is it pop punk? Because for me, high BPM, very catchy lyrics, very catchy guitar, something that I can just blare to 100 and be like, this is what pop punk was. And for me, that was what MGK felt like. When I first heard the album, it was the first time I went through an album for a long time to listen to it from start to finish, then re-listened to it, and then found myself listening to it for about the 7th or the 8th time and actually really liked it. And then went to the extended edition, fell in love with that, and fell in love with Youngblood's additions to that. And overall, it reminded me about what I loved about it. Was nothing new. It was nothing. It's nothing special, but it was everything I loved about pop punk, just re-galvanized in a new package, and went, this is pop punk for 2020 and going on. I'm like, yes, because there'll be people listening to this that will go, wow, this is amazing. Then hopefully they'll go off and find other bands. And that's always been my argument with it. As you said, it brings people back into the scene. It brings light on it. Yeah, they'll listen to Machine Gun Kelly, they'll go off and listen to Makeout, Blink 182, State Chance, etc. Exactly, yeah. And so, but it's got so much energy, and the fact that Travis Barker's on drums as well is just kick ass, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
the god of drums.
Exactly, yeah. Like he is the king of drums nowadays. You can't argue with it. But like even that song with Halsey too, man, like blew my mind. Like that's a great song.
Yeah.
So like I'm not opposed to him entering the scene. I just like I feel like it's more like, yo, just you haven't paid your dues within our scene. Don't talk down to us because you have a leg up, kind of thing.
Definitely, yeah.
And like, to see like, Candy Hearts like be like, yo, like this, and like have people call them out on it, and like other bands just like, man, like we don't need Twitter drama. Just move on. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I think what he was is valid. I just think the way he went about it was just like it rubbed people the wrong way, and that's how I'm gonna say it. Like I feel like he's got a lot of confidence.
Yes,
for sure. And
he's got a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
But he's
There's
threading
line,
that
right?
fine line, right? He's tiptoeing that line a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I get you.
Exactly.
Definitely.
No, yeah, but he always has, in my opinion, with even his rap. It was
that's
always.
true,
But I discovered him previously through songs. Okay, fine. Yeah, the first time I listened to him properly was Rap Devil, and
I was gonna say like,
I mean, let's be fair here. Rap Devil was an absolute tune. I don't care how much everyone says that he lost that, but I thought it was a tune. I rated it. I know
Is AJ not sure?
I was like, I thought it was a tune.
I'm sorry, man. Eminem is like, to me, Eminem is like a rap god, and like that song to me is 100% right. And like he, in my opinion, destroyed Machine Gun Kelly so bad that I think he felt like, yo, I don't think I can do rap anymore. And like I'm not trying to be a dick at all. Like like I said, I've said it before already on the podcast. I respect MGK, but like, dude, if I went head to head against like fucking Flea for like bassist, and like I got ripped to assholes like by Flea, which I probably would, I would be like, maybe I should like go into EDM or something. I would never go up against like Slash on guitar. I would never like there's no way. Like like I said, he's got the confidence to do it, which is great, but like
I do
Eminem
get what you
to
mean.
me is like the all-time like.
Oh, of course he is.
Of course, and it was. I'm saying it's a good song for MGK. It's a good
song,
but
he got owned.
He did get
He
his ass
got
handed to him.
owned.
But it did for me though. After listening to that, I was like, I wonder what else he's done. And Glass House was the song where actually I was like, you know what, this is decent. I know a lot of other fans don't rate it, but for me that was one song by him that stuck. I think it's a really lovely written song. I think it's got a really nice catchy melody.
Lovely.
It's a really depressing song. It's got really depressing meanings, but it's really well written and really well versed out. And then of course, but you have to then compare it to other established rappers, right? And of course, I've got 4 songs from MGK on my Spotify in comparison to, I think at the last time I checked, 33 from Eminem, including 3 of his new songs, like including Nat, including a few other ones that he's done as well. I listened to one that he just recently did with Skylar Grey from the Songs to Be Murdered by side B, and I was like, he's still killing it in some areas. Like I don't care.
I mean, personally for me, like I think Eminem just always kind of holds like a little like place in my heart, because my first ever live performance of any musical thing was at my like diabetes camp when I was like 10 or 11 or some shit. And I went up and rapped Without Me, like a cappella basically, because they realized that like I was gonna say the bad words, like like the curse words, so they cut the music off, and I was like, nah, fuck it, I can do it all day. And then I just kept going. And like, so I kind of have to be like, Eminem like definitely got me out of my like he's one of the reasons why I knew I wanted to be a musician, was because of like the people's reactions to me going like, yeah, fuck that, I'm just gonna keep going, like and like all these like I was a nerd in like school throughout my whole life, but the only place I felt cool was like camp, and like it was because of that moment. And I'm like, Eminem's always got a place in my heart, so I'm always gonna defend him even with that like that little thing, you know.
And I think for majority of people, it was Eminem will always be I don't have that kind of a cappella mode. I do remember listening to him on Now 53, and it was Without Me, and it was actually it segued through from like Puddle of Mud, Bowling for Soup, something else. I think it was like Daniel Bedingfield, Gotta Get Through This or something like that, and then to Without
that's a
Me,
great one,
and then to Without Me, and I was like, damn, these songs are sick. Oh my god, damn, there's Eminem on Now CDs. Wow. I hope my mother doesn't hear this. And that's how I became corrupt.
Yeah, right. No, but I feel like you have to give, especially rappers who have done like Warped Tour, you have to give them a lot of credit.
Oh yeah,
Like Eminem was on one of the Warped Tours. I feel like Ludacris was on one of the Warped Tours too at one point. I know Twisted was. Like Insane Clown Posse was, I think. No, they weren't. But Twisted was, which is pretty much the rap version of that.
Is that Twister or Twisted?
Twisted, I think.
Twisted. No, I was just thinking of a rapper. I think it's Twister. I'm thinking of.
Twister is the one that like raps super fast and like.
Yeah, he did Celebrity. He did Overnight Celebrity, which is how I remember from Midnight Club 3, because all great gaming references.
Do you like many British rappers at all? Like Skepta, heard of Skepta kind of thing?
I used to listen to The Streets growing up.
Oh yes.
And then there's this one guy who he's a black rapper from England, and he's been like on a lot of stuff recently that I can't remember like what.
Be Stormzy.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably is. Probably is. He's on everything.
It's either Stormzy or Dave are the two predominant, the two biggest rappers at the moment.
What? Maybe it's Stormzy. Does Stormzy have like a very thick British accent when he raps? Yeah, then it's
so he was the one that became famous because he wore Banksy's vest.
Maybe
at Glastonbury. Dave's the one that did a performance of the one that strikes me. He did a piano performance of a song called Black. And he had like CGI on the piano as he was performing that told the story of black oppression, which was really, really good. But I think he's the one that's got the stronger British voice out of the two that I can think of.
I don't know. I feel like it was either I'm blanking right now because like it was like a couple months ago when I was listening. It was either on like the Black Bear album or the like recent Khalid album that he did like a feature on, but like I'm blanking right now. But
it's all right.
That just shows you that I don't pay attention to.
No, it makes sense completely.
So
that's fine.
I'm just like the recent Black Bear album, by the way, was a fucking banger as well. I have to admit.
Oh yeah,
it was.
I love that whole album, and the song they did with All Time Low is just like,
wow.
Actually, absolutely. Yeah, I do like that. Yeah, I do like that song.
I'm now looking through to be like, was it on here? I know Love was on If I Were You. If I Were You was the one that he did with Love. So Khalid.
Yeah, that's not that one. I don't know. Like, this is me blanking because like I was just like I've been listening to a lot of music lately.
Yeah,
there's a British rapper that's been in it a lot.
Yeah,
that's me grasping at some British rapping straws.
Yeah, there are some good ones. I can't think. What do we call it now, Tom? What's the genre? It's not British.
Grime.
Grime, that's it. Grime. Yeah, right. Grime music.
We call it grime. It's definitely not pop punk, which is probably where we need to head back to.
yes. We will.
Yeah, but I have to admit, it's there's some fantastic artists from the UK, and
there is. Yeah,
there really is, and I do like the way that British music is going, but but there is this soft spot, and I will admit it. For me, I don't think there is somewhere yet where they've reached that Sum 41, Blink-182, Green Day level of pop punk, if that makes sense, where it's like it's American originated, American sounding lyrics, and you hear many bands. I haven't heard it recently, but I used to hear many bands emulating like American accents to do their songs for pop punk.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I get why you're doing that, but equally it doesn't drive the same feelings, because I know you're not from Britain and I know you're just putting on the accent for the song.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like my singing. I was always American when I was singing.
What I was referring to here secretly was Tim singing.
Literally, I just sound so American, it's crazy, but I'm not going to do it now. But yeah, that was me. But there we go. Okay, sweet. Well, I think we're pretty much done, AJ. Then I just want to have massive thanks for being on. It's been absolutely epic to have you on. We've definitely had fanboy moments within this.
So I'm glad, man. It was a pleasure being on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Honestly, bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much. It's never in a million years. Never. Like, I will be saying this for the rest of my life. Never in a million years would I have ever thought to have like this kind of moment.
Definitely not.
Yeah, man. Like, especially me. Like, most of the guys in Makeout are pretty like nonchalant, easygoing dudes. Like, you guys, we're just normal humans. Like, we all have day jobs. Like, so don't be nervous. Like, I think this is the best thing for like anybody who wants to go meet bands or whatever. We're just humans. Don't think that we're bigger than we are. Just come say hi and hang out and say what's up. I like I'm a nerd that plays video games and read comics. Like, I'm not that cool. So you can hit me up in Twitch. Like I said, like Tom hit me up in Twitch and I was just like, yeah, dude, let's do it. Like,
amazing. Fantastic. Yeah, well, massive thanks again.
We'll link in your Twitch in the bottom as well.
We will. In the description. We'll put it on YouTube. There we go.
We'll help you get another 3.
Yes.
4.
I'll take it. You know.
Honestly, we would take them as well.
Yes. We would. Yeah.
Subscribe here first and then go to Twitch. If you go to Twitch and then come back, that's also fine. But as long as you subscribe to both, we're both asking for subscribers here.
Synergy,
awesome.
Man. Synergy.
Exactly what we need.
There we go. Awesome. All right. Cheers, AJ. Take care, buddy. Chat to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for listening to the Punkio Podcast with Tim and Tom. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, and follow on all streaming platforms.
Check out our social media pages where we'll be posting exclusive content and sneak peeks to future episodes of the podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode and we look forward to catching you on the next one. Take care.